Hi, it's Tim Michelle Birdsong, Eve, mother of all living, daughter of the sun. You're looking at a picture of the Son, Govinda Singh Dhillon, Jesus Christ, the Buddha. This is a picture of the other son of the sun, Adam, now being Michael Bublé. Okay, this is part 2 of Herstory, Eveartheartheart, the art, Eve's story. I was talking about ending in part 1, the requirements for a director of APAC. And the last 2 requirements are they promote participation at local and national APAC events involving regional events and national political training conferences. They do research, gather, and deliver information requested by pro-Israel political activists. Other duties as assigned. Not mentioned is what all the information is used for. This is an article I'm reading from Nation by a veteran of APAC. He worked with them. It's kind of like a whistleblower. Okay, so not mentioned is what all the information is used for, political fundraising. That means making sure that pro-Israel, PACs know what to do with their money. And making sure that individual donors know what to do with theirs. That is why APAC has a large national political operation. If it were not in the money distribution business, it would simply rely on its legislative department to lobby for and draft legislation for members of Congress. Nor would its political director make $500,000 a year. In short, AIPAC's political operation is used precisely as Representative Omar suggested. Again, I know this because I witnessed it over and over again. I sat in AIPAC staff meetings at which the political director discussed whom we would be supporting in this campaign and whom we were going to destroy in that one. I was in on meetings at AIPAC's huge annual policy conference, attended by as many as 20,000 AIPAC members and virtually the entire Congress, at which fundraising pitches were made. AIPAC, of course, denies that anyone raises money at its policy conferences. Conned by reefer smoker, R-E-F-E-R, reefer smoker. E-N-D, ended. E for ended, North Carolina spiritual satsang event. Daffy Nathanson ended it. Eve vibration entered. Mild red pleasure. Okay, she had pleasure because of the guru, and they made a baby together in North Carolina, Fayetteville, 2018, and got married. All spiritually. Okay, and of course AIPAC denies that they raised money, and it's true, and it's true, no one does. In the official AIPAC rooms, however, there are also the side rooms, nominally independent. In deep pin pendulum swung so far it dented. Den, D-E-N, den, enter mild red daughter, Aria Elizabeth Michelle. Remember I said we made a baby? There it is in writing. So, nominally independent of the main event, but just down the hall, where this is talking about the AIPAC conference, where candidates and invited donors, only the really wealthy donors got the invites, meet and decide which candidate will get what. Okay, decide, decode it. D is for December, D-I-E for die. Coronavirus doctor, whistleblower. Wu, W-E-W-U-H-A-N, Wuhan province. Yeah, that was decided that he would die by someone. He was a whistleblower. Okay, so this arrangement, talking about AIPAC again, is also a metaphor for the whole AIPAC fundraising operation. The side rooms are nominally raising operation. The side rooms are nominally not AIPAC, so AIPAC can deny that any fundraising takes place at that conference, but in fact they are the most exclusive venues in the country for candidates to raise money in the name of advancing the AIPAC cause. AIPAC denies fundraising precisely the way Captain Renault in the film Casablanca declared he was shocked to find that gambling is going on in his establishment. Okay, let's decode gambling. G for God, A-M for Am, M for Michelle. Is that Michelle? That's Michael. M for Michael. B for Buble. L for Will. N for N. I for pleasure. G for garden. God, M, Michael Bublé's will in pleasure garden. Garden. G for good. A for A. G, what's this? Oh, her. R for her. Egen. Good, a her, Eden is a garden. Garden of Eden, right? Womb in her body. Womb, W for womb, N, O for order, M for Michelle, B for birdsong, I for pleasure, N for N. Woman order, to Michelle birdsong, pleasure in her body. Yes, I do. I get the mild red pleasure, the clitoris, and I get the pleasure in my womb of Aria Michelle and her brother. Okay, let's go on. As he is saying it, they're talking about Renault, Captain Renault, saying there's no gambling in his. He's shocked to see that there's gambling in his establishment. If you saw Casablanca, you'll know the movie. You'll know with Humphrey Bogart. As the captain is saying it, one of the club's crooks hands him a wad of cash, saying, "Your winnings, sir." Same with AIPAC. We don't donate to campaigns. Here's your check, or more usually, a bundle of checks that are not traceable back to AIPAC because, on paper at least, they come from individuals who, like a candidate, stand on Israel or Iran sanctions as told to them by AIPAC's political operatives. So enough about AIPAC's fundraising denials, which insult the intelligence of anyone who hears them, except, check this out, political activist Adi Barkan describes how a congressional candidate he worked for scored $5,000 from an AIPAC representative just by promising to support AIPAC's pet issues. Easy money. And here's the thing. AIPAC is not synonymous with Jews. By its own admission, AIPAC has 100,000 members out of the American Jewish population of about 6 million. Of that number, most are Jewish, but as it proudly proclaims, many are evangelicals and other Christians, implying that criticizing the power of a predominantly Jewish organization is anti-Semitic is like saying that those who point to the Catholic Church's pedophile scandal are anti-Catholic, or that condemning violent Islamic extremists is tantamount to hating Muslims. It is ridiculous. It is also clever because it deters legitimate criticism of Israel, or God forbid, of the lobby, by sending a clear message to politicians that any such criticism will cost them mightily. Watching what the lobby and its acolytes in Congress and out are saying about Omar would cause anyone in politics to think long and hard before saying anything at all about Israel, other than the effusive statements of praise AIPAC wants. And that is the lobby's goal, to ensure that Congress never questions Israel about anything, that it just shuts up and keeps the billions of dollars in aid coming. Aid. A-I-D, identity. She, AIDS. S for S, A for A, I for I, D for D. She said, that's A, right? The first mother, Eve. She said, what helps? All right. And back to the article. And above all, without conditions. In other words, don't say anything. Just keep the billions of dollars coming to the Congress, who praise Israel, and above all, without conditions, like requiring Israel to take steps to end the occupation, the blockade of Gaza, or to grant equal rights to Palestinians inside Israel and in the occupied territories. The only thing wrong with Ilhan's tweets about AIPAC is the seeming suggestion that money is all there is behind I guess it's on the next page. We got some decoding to do here. Behind. B for B, Eve. H for heaven. IND is the 8th Avenue subway train line. Train of thought. Behind. B, Eve, energy. Heaven's train of thought. Behind all the good ideas, things, and people in the world. Okay, that's Eve energy. Okay. Believe, Eve's energy, is heaven's train of thought, which is behind all the good ideas and things and people in the world. Okay. U.S. Where is U.S.? U.S. is here somewhere. Let's see. Okay. U.S. U.S. is us. Us is Adam and Eve. Us. You. Y-O-U. You support. U.S. support for Israel. Now, Israel decoded is very interesting. I for I, S for C, R for her, A for A, E for Eve, Earth's heart, energy, L for love. Okay, so the message in the word Israel is very positive. I see her, A, the first mother, Eve, Earth's heart, energy, love. Okay, isn't that wonderful? Eve is love. like God is love and God is her father. So she takes after her father. Back to Representative Omar. The first tweet, which resulted in ominous storm clouds over her head, was her response to a journalist who asked, by tweet of course, what accounted for such fierce defense of a foreign country by U.S. political leaders, even if it meant attacking the free speech rights of Americans. Omar responded, "It's all about the Benjamins, baby," breezily, referring to $100 bills. This was bad enough, suggesting that campaign contributions play a part in AIPAC's success at gathering support for legislation that reads like it's written by the Likud Central Committee of Israel. But that was nothing compared to the monsoon of invectives produced by her response to a reporter from the Jewish newspaper Forward, Beitan Ungar Sargon, who again in a tweet disingenuously asked Omar who she thought is paying American politicians to be pro-Israel. Even before Omar responded, AIPAC, Ungar Sargon, had resorted to the lobbyists and its media friends' favorite tactic when exposed or criticized, charging Omar with anti-Semitism, specifically for using what Ungar Sargon described as an anti-Semitic trope. That opened the floodgates for the full season anti-Semitic onslaught. One by one, other Jewish organizations weighed in. AIPAC is designated by virtually all the mainstream Jewish organizations as their official lobby, and they invariably jump when AIPAC tells them to. And then AIPAC's congressional enforcers weighed in, led by Steny Hoyer, the House Majority Leader, who has been AIPAC's man in the House floor for decades, Pelosi and others. They all said the same thing, that Omar's tweet was anti-Semitic, with many adopting Ungar Sargon's characterization of Omar's words as an anti-Semitic trope, by which they seem to mean using the words Jewish and money in the same tweet. But that is not what Omar said. She wasn't even talking about Israel per se. When asked whom she is accusing of buying members of Congress, Omar responded with one word: AIPAC, period. There are many, many reasons why the United States supports the existence of the State of Israel and the security of its people. One of them has always been the Holocaust, which demonstrated that Jews do need a secure refuge. Okay, let's start decoding. Holocaust. H for heaven, O for ordered, mild red, L for love, O for of, C for conscious, A for ST for saint, for you saint. Heaven ordered, mild red. Mild red is Eve. Love of conscious, A, loving herself consciously. You are a saint. A, you see true. Saint, decoded. S for C, A for A, I for pleasure, N for N, T for truth. C, a pleasure in truth. The good God is true. The her, you, Eve, Earth's heart, energy, the art. The good God